Good Friday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. We have made it to the end of the week. It's still my work week, but many of you maybe have already started your weekend out there. And we are tracking some showers still going on. Now, not as many showers tonight as we had out there last night, and the ones that we have today are also not as intense as the ones that we had yesterday, but there are still some areas of rain that we need to watch and we need to track tonight. And if you were watching us tonight at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, I was telling you about how the better chances for rain would mainly be over on the east side, where we've had the more concentration of those areas of rain, but still spotty showers elsewhere, a little bit down to the south, a few of these up in northwest Georgia. Some of those are strong up in parts of Murray County and also northern parts of Whitfield County. We'll take a closer look at those coming up in just a bit. Not as much happening on the north side right now, except for these to the east of the city, and then a lot of these now extending along I-20 and south of I-20, where we have some of those pockets of not only light rain, but also some moderate rain, heavy rain, and even some with thunder and lightning. Not a lot of thunderstorms like we were dealing with yesterday and last night, but just still a few isolated thunderstorms that are out there right now. Here in the city, we have been pretty quiet this evening. We've had just a couple little bits of rain that have been moving through our area. Well, actually, let me get back up here. I want to get in closer to these right now before I go out over on the east side. Here you can see some of these that are moving through, that did move through earlier. And now we have some of these to the south and west of us. And then another little batch right there that's developing right there, sitting on top of Spaghetti Junction right now, where we have some of that more moderate rain that continues to move on through. It was a little heavier earlier as it was coming through South Gwinnett, but now holding together right there on the northeast side of the perimeter, right around Spaghetti Junction, where we have some orange color there indicating more of those moderate showers. Still no real lightning in association with that. And then some other showers that are there to the north side too. Out to the east though, this is the area where we've seen more of a concentration of rain moving through. More of you have been dealing with rain than we have here in Atlanta and to the north and to the west of us. There is that bit of lightning right now. This is Henry County right here. This is Southern Rockdale. This is Newton County. It's right where those three county lines come together where we're seeing some of that heavier rain. A couple of lightning strikes there on those county lines. A little bit of heavier rain just a little bit to the north and east of McDonough and some near Hampton right now. And that's drifting over to the east. We have some other spotty showers. Really, if you're going out I-20 from DeKalb County, once you get into Rockdale County, especially Newton County, over into parts of Morgan County, Putnam County, Jasper County, Greene County, you're seeing a better coverage of rain. A lot of it is light. But there are some pockets of moderate to heavy rain embedded within that there. Here's a little bit more over into Eatonton, and there's that stuff in Jasper near Monticello. Near Eatonton and Putnam County, we have some showers and storms. And then just south of Putnam County, down into areas of, hold on, we just got okay, we have a flash flood warning for Telfair County. That's well down to the south of our area. But as you see, to the south of Eatonton and Putnam County, down in Milledgeville and Baldwin County, we have some heavier rain falling there, a little bit of lightning with that. That was a little bit closer to Lake Sinclair. So Lake Oconee has been getting in on some of this rain here, but it's lightening up now, and we're not seeing much lightning up there in the Lake Oconee area. Elsewhere on the south side, you know, not as much going on, even not a lot of clouds over in far west Georgia, but we are going to be watching these showers. They have generally been drifting over toward the west, so we could still see a few more of those in parts of Henry County, maybe into Spalding County, Fayette County, Clayton County here. Could see a few of those showers. We'll keep an eye on some of these that could make it into Pike and Lamar and Upson County. But the trend is, as these are moving over toward the west, they are showing signs of weakening just a little bit more. And then when we go up to North Georgia, again, not as much of that rain happening out there right now, but we do have some of these showers that are heavier and some thunder and lightning. In fact, this just kind of pulsed up and got together a little bit better here in Whitfield County and the Murray County line, right there at the Georgia-Tennessee line too, where we have some thunder and lightning in association with those showers. And then elsewhere, just a couple of spotty showers, a couple of these in Pickens County. This is moving into Bartow. We had a few over Cherokee County, but nothing really widespread out there. over parts of North Georgia. And again, here's a look at that action that is over to the east of us, and that's where we have more of that concentration of rain there. Augusta was seeing some good showers a little bit earlier there on the South Carolina line. Things are letting up there now a bit. Now we do have other showers down in central Georgia and also South Georgia. Some of those have some thunder and lightning with them too, but again, that's well to the south of our area. Here's a live look. Oh, I don't know why that went black there. But let's look at these other cameras here, and we'll advance on so you can see what we're watching. Sorry that went black there. Well, here's the flood watch. It's not showing our cameras out there for us right now. We do have a flood watch that's in effect not for Metro Atlanta, but this is in effect for areas south and east of the city. And that kind of corresponds with those areas that we're talking about where we have the better chance for some rain. And they're seeing more of that rain that is collecting in their rain gauges there. But even though Atlanta's not in it, a couple of counties there in our viewing area are included in this flood watch. And this is going to be in effect until Saturday evening, and it includes Putnam County as well as Greene County. And then over to the east of that and down to the south of that, including Macon, that's where we have this flood watch in effect. And again, these are the areas that are going to be a little more favored for not only rain, but the potential for some heavy rain that, again, with all the rain that we've had, and many areas have saturation in the ground there, any low-lying areas or flood-prone areas could collect some water with these showers that develop and don't have a lot of movement with them, and they could dump a good bit of rain and cause some flash flooding in some areas. So on Saturday, this is what I want you to expect. Now, when you see any time on Saturday, that doesn't mean it's going to rain all day. It means there's a chance for showers at any time. This is more than just the afternoon pop-ups. We could see a few spotty showers off and on in the morning, a few around lunchtime, a few more in the afternoon. So just know that these showers could pop up anytime. This isn't like a front or a squall line coming in that we can time out exactly, like it's going to be northwest Georgia at this time, it's going to be in Metro Atlanta at this time, it's going to be east of us at this time. This is just the air mass that we're in is very moist. At least it's not as hot. We're seeing temperatures down a little bit lower in the 80s. I think we'll be in the lower 80s tomorrow, right around 82 degrees. So we don't have a lot of that real intense heat to bubble up these showers and storms, but we do have enough heat in the 80s that can bubble them up a little bit just to give us some of the scattered showers around. So they'll be off and on. Keep your umbrella with you if you have plans outside. Just know we're going to have some dry hours, but there may be some periods where you have to run in because of these showers that are going to be moving through. Take a look at what we were watching out there today. 84 degrees was our high temperature. Now, if you were watching us at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, the temperature reported on the climatological data that comes out around 4:30 was reporting a high of 81. And when we were on the air, we were saying, well, we just went past that because it was 82, I believe, at 5 o'clock, and then 83 at 6 o'clock. Well, we actually did hit 84 this afternoon because we started off with a lot of cloud cover earlier today, and then in the afternoon hours, some of those clouds broke up a little bit to allow some sunshine to come through, and that really helped to warm things up. We were about 5 degrees below average for the afternoon. The average high for this time of year is around 89 degrees. Still no rain officially no rain at Hartsfield-Jackson today, although a lot of you over on the east side and even some here in Metro Atlanta have been seeing some showers. But we've got about a surplus of about 1/10 of an inch above where we should be in rainfall for the year. And do you see that sunset 8:15? Yeah, it's getting earlier and earlier every night and darker earlier. Here's the mild air we had this morning with temperatures in the lower 70s. And then you see how we held in the 70s through 2 o'clock? Then we got up to 80 degrees at 3 and 4. Then we started seeing those peaks of sunshine, and that was enough to boost us up to 82, 83, and then in between those hourlies, we did get up to 84 degrees for that high temperature for today. Right now, it's still mild out there, even though it's not hot. It's mild and muggy. We still have plenty of humidity around. Temperatures are at 76 degrees here in town. Most places in the area are in the 70s. We are in the 80s though right now in Rome and Dalton in northwest Georgia. They got hotter today, up to around 87 degrees in Rome and in Dalton earlier. So they're a little bit slower to cool off. So they're still holding in the 80s, but everybody else is generally in the 70s. And over on the east side, that's where those areas had some rain-cooled air that helped to cool them off a little bit faster too. So tomorrow, starting off in the lower 70s, we're going to see a better coverage of clouds here during the day tomorrow. And some of those scattered showers, as we mentioned, off and on at any time during the day, getting up to around 82 degrees, maybe just a couple of degrees lower tomorrow compared to what we had out there for today. Here's a look at the forecast track. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. And it is showing here this evening that concentration of the rain over on the east side. But it's also showing a lot of that falling apart during the overnight hours. In the morning, we're going to wake up to mainly clouds around, but then those clouds will generate a couple little showers here and there. Once we get to lunchtime, again, not everybody is going to be getting hit, but there'll be a few of those spotty showers here and there, some on the west side, some on the east side, and then into the afternoon, maybe a few more of those spotty showers that'll be developing. Some of them could have some moderate to heavy rain, maybe a little bit of thunder and lightning. We don't really expect anything that would turn severe with any of these storms here during the day tomorrow, but just know you'll be dodging some of those showers here and there. Things should be tapering off in the evening tomorrow. And then on Sunday morning, most areas starting off dry. We're still going to hold on to some rain chances, though, at about 30%. We actually have a front that's going to be moving in later in the day. We're beginning to see some of that rain kind of ahead of that front. That'll move through pretty quickly tomorrow, or actually Sunday afternoon, to give us that 30% chance for some showers here. And then behind that front, you're really going to like what's going to happen going into next week. This is going to break this pattern and kind of clean out this air mass that we have been in to give us a more refreshing feel to the air next week. So you see these rain chances coming down, 40% Saturday, 30% Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it is looking dry. And when I say dry, I mean not only no rain, but the humidity levels are going to start falling too. This is our moisture map, where you can see where we have the orange and yellow color here. That is just very moist air. That's the humid air mass that we're in. It makes it feel so muggy out there. It helps to generate showers because we have high precipitation quantities there within those clouds and within the atmosphere. So tomorrow we're still going to be in that same air mass with a few of those showers around. Sunday, as the front moves in, the air starts to dry out a little bit and the rain chance comes down slightly. Then look at this, the blue color on Monday, the blue and purple indicating very dry air. So that takes the rain chances away and it lowers the humidity, making it feel a little more comfortable. Now, the models are trying to kick up a few more clouds and a little more moisture here on Tuesday. I'm holding off on any rain chances with that, but then look at this surge coming in Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday for the rest of the week. That is some really dry air. And as the dew points lower with that drier air coming in, it's also going to help our temperatures to lower too, especially in the mornings. It's going to be very refreshing with temperatures in the 60s here for much of next week, even lower 60s we're thinking, and then afternoon highs will be in the lower 80s, and that's going to make it feel that much nicer. And the dew points kind of show what's going to happen with that. When you've got dew points in the 70s, that's when it feels so oppressive. It's still going to be muggy and rather oppressive here over the weekend. Then when that front moves through, look what happens to the dew points. They dive down into the 50s with that drier air. And what does that equal? Much more comfortable air with that drier air and lower humidity. So you're going to like it moving into next week. Here's a quick look at the tropics here. A couple of areas that we're watching. This system we've been keeping an eye on that's north of the Leeward Islands now has an 80 to 90% chance of developing into a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but the models are keeping it away. This one is very interesting because a lot of people were posting last week, oh, here comes another storm, it's going to move into the Gulf, but those models were not indicating that correctly, which often happens sometimes, and people jump on it and throw it out there for people to get freaked out about. But this one, the models are not really showing a lot of promise for developing. In fact, it's now showing only a 20 to 30% chance of developing over the next 2 to 7 days. So we're not overly concerned about that, but we're going to keep an eye on it as it moves across the Atlantic and potentially getting into the Caribbean. So we'll watch that as it gets a little closer to see if it's going to actually hold together or anything. 40% chance for showers Saturday, 30% chance Sunday. Highs 82 Saturday, 84 Sunday. It does bump up to 86 Monday with mostly sunny skies. Then that cooler surge of air, the dry air, partly cloudy skies Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Look at those morning temperatures in the mid and lower 60s. Some of you may even have some 50s in the outlying areas. And then afternoon highs will be in the lower 80s there into next week. And again, with that lower humidity, it's just going to feel a lot more refreshing out there. So we hope you enjoy your weekend. Thank you for tuning in to this extended weather outlook here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We'll have another update for you tonight at 11 o'clock on 11 Alive Plus with 11 Alive News, and then updates also throughout the weekend here. So thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great weekend.